week on 49ers Sac-Hi Sports, we have thrilling highlights from the tight league races. You'll see Folsom taking on Del Oro. Dixon meets Pioneer, and Oakdale battles Central Catholic.
Volleyball action includes the final regular season match between Tracy and St. Mary's. Rio Americano and Wood Creek meet in boys and girls water polo, plus the story of the football player from Central Catholic and the battles he faces on the field with profound hearing loss. 49ers Sac-Hi Sports starts right now.
Welcome to 49ers Sac-Hi Sports. I'm Aubrey Tolliver.
And I'm Robert Bronstein. We start tonight in Modesto with the Big Valley Oak League rivalry game between Central Catholic and Oakdale. Central Catholic is the reigning VOL champions and Division II AA NorCal champions. The Raiders returning its lefty quarterback Tyler Paul Wentworth, TP averaging nearly 150 passing yards a game.
Since Central Catholic entered the VOL back in 2014, Oakdale has won 5 of its last 7 games against the Raiders. Senior Brian Delty has 8 rushing touchdowns on the season for the 6-1 Mustangs. League rivals Oakdale and Central Catholic meeting in Modesto on Friday night. Oakdale and Central Catholic meeting at midfield before Friday's rivalry game. Always lots of energy in this matchup. The Raiders threatening on their first drive. Tyler Paul Wentworth drops back and delivers the ball to Joel Roberts. Roberts picks up a big chunk of yards after the catch, and after the 25-yard pickup, it is a Tyler Jacklich touchdown. Jacklich heading to the far corner of the end zone. He dives in for the game's first score. It's 7-0 Central Catholic. The Raider defense limiting the Mustangs to just 1 first down in the first quarter. Rowdy Addington is unfazed by the tricky Mustang offense, and on the next Raider drive, TP under center, rolls to his left, throws on the run to Brooklyn Cheek, and that's another big pickup for CC. 2 plays later, it's Wentworth, this time throwing to his left. Joel Roberts hauls it in, and it is 14-0 Raiders after 1. The offensive dominance does not stop there. TP to number 3, Trace Hernandez. Trace gets knocked out of bounds by Oakdale's Tommy Chance, but the Raiders score on the next play and then on their next drive. Tyler Wentworth drops back, but it's a handoff to Tyler Jacklich. Jacklich with an incredible game for the Raiders. This is a 65-yard run and his second touchdown of the night, 28-0 Central Catholic. And in the closing seconds of the first half, Wentworth has just enough time to get a snap in. The lefty escapes pressure and launches it. Jalen Nichols makes an incredible catch in the end zone. We're going to meet Jalen later on in the show in our inspirational athlete segment, but for now, that catch makes it a 35-0 game at the half. Oakdale comes into the second half with energy. Gabe McDonald makes his way through the line and up the field for a 15-yard pickup. It ends in a McDonald 5-yard score, and that is the first points of the game for Oakdale. The 6-1 Mustangs not going down without a fight in the fourth quarter. Jace Rowell gets his number called, and he scampers up the Oakdale sideline. Cheek knocks him out, but the Raiders defense strong from start to finish. Roberts with 2 touchdowns on offense gets the stop on defense, and the Raiders take home the 35-7 win. They will play undefeated Manteca next week.
It's high school football action between 2 powers, Granite Bay and Rockland, both coming in at 5-2, but only one can prevail. With the Grizzlies moving downfield, Derek Keeley takes down the quarterback, stalling the drive and keeping the game scoreless at halftime. This is how you start a second half. On Rockland's first play from scrimmage, quarterback Joey Roberts takes to the air, finding the hands of Gavin Correa for a 37-yard gain. Later in the drive, Roberts dumps it off to Mason Silva, who cuts back to dodge a tackler before finding the sideline and sprinting for a 32-yard gain. Silva caps the drive by taking the handoff and bursting up the gut to cross the goal line for the game's first score, 7-0 Rockland. Later in the quarter, Robert drops back and finds Eli Hardy, who brings in the catch and fights defenders for extra yards, advancing the ball into Granite Bay territory. Rockland finishes it off with the score. The Thunder offensive line opens a wide open path for Silva, who strolls into the end zone, stretching the Thunder lead to 14-0. The next Thunder drive, Roberts goes for it all, launching it into the end zone for Kyle Hall. The receiver goes up and gets it, making it 21 unanswered for Rockland. Trailing by 3 scores, Granite Bay holds on to hope. Quarterback Nick Harris delivers a dart over the middle to Carson Perry Smith for the first Grizzly score, 21-7 Rockland. Later in the fourth quarter, Harris threads the needle on this one, Francusano makes the grab and fights for the end zone, coming up just shy and setting up 1st and goal. With the Grizzlies knocking on the door, Harris finds his man, Joseph Catalico, in the end zone, putting the Grizzlies within a single score, but it was too little too late. Rockland takes the victory knee for its 6th win and prepares for Oak Ridge next week.
Nick Pecoraro here. St. Francis looking to wrap up a share of the Delta League crown, but second place Pleasant Grove might have something to say about that on Tuesday. Here we go. Eagles come out swinging in the first. Ella Snowbar gets things going here, and then get ready to hear this name a lot. Isis Castile off the block into the stands for a souvenir. Not really, they had to give the ball back, but PG takes set 1, 25-20. Set 2, more Eagles and more Castile. She's coming from the left side, and then from the right, it's Malia Tanksley. She says, let me get some of that. Everything going the Eagles' way. Sophia McPherson gets the old net scraper for the ace, and then McPherson on the assist this time as Abigail Seaver joins the party. PG goes up 2-0, but St. Francis not going away quietly. Nice hustle from Sophia Alkire to keep it alive. Jackie Smith on the return. Eagles trying to put the point away, but Kelsey Magley with the excuse me point. Nobody's more surprised than she is. Trubies go to work in set 3. Olivia Mlickerton with one of her team-high 8 kills. That closes out the set 25-7. To the 4th, Tanksley is firing. She had 13 kills. PG leads 22-19, but Caroline Foraker brings St. Francis to within 2, trying to push for a 5th set. But it's Isis Castile with the answer. Ice, ice, baby brings the Eagles to match point, and the Truby serve doesn't cross the net, and it's time to celebrate. Pleasant Grove keeps its Delta League hopes alive for another day. 22 kills for the sophomore Castile. Ice, how'd you guys do it?
I would say for us, we get really tight when it comes to harder teams, and I'm really proud of my team for pulling out and not giving up so easily, because I feel like we did that a lot, and we're starting to do a lot better towards the end of this season.
Wood Creek taking on Rio Americano in a non-league battle. I'm Mark Willis, and Wood Creek's in the black caps, and they're down 1, but not for long. Jeff Center from the right wing finds Caden Rutan at the point, and he ties the game up at 1. With under a minute to go in the first, Rio Americano takes the lead. Jack McGoldrick finds Mateo Rutano at the point, and he scores on the left side of the net, and Wood Creek ties it up at 2. Center dumps it into the 2-meter area, and Shane Carter with a sweet looking behind the back shot. That surprised everyone. Nice play there. About a minute later, Harper Gardner with the ball for Rio, and he throws a nice outlet pass to Larson. Don't leave him wide open, and Lars scores it with authority. Raiders lead at 3-2. Rio on another breakaway now, and you gotta stop the ball. No one does, and Cade Winston just keeps swimming, then keeps swimming, then scores it for the Raiders. It's 5-2. Here's Lucas Rutano with an outlet pass to Larson again, wide open. No problem for him. 6-2 at the break. Second half, Wood Creek puts up some points. 6 goals are scored in the second half. Here's Carter netting his 3rd goal of the game. The problem is that Rio Americano netted 7 more goals in the second half. Owen Wolf with a nice bounce shot, but it goes off the crossbar. Jack McGoldrick's there for the rebound and the putback, and the Raiders win big on the road by 5.
Each week this season, Roseville Hyundai brings us the Players of the Week. Our first Player of the Week is Emily Vickers from the Escalon volleyball team. The outside hitter had a whopping 24 kills in the Cougars' win over a tough Sierra team last week. Emily also had 3 blocks and 18 digs.
Our second Roseville Hyundai Player of the Week is Naseri Danielson from St. Mary's. The senior receiver racked up 153 receiving yards in the Rams' big win over De La Salle last week. Nas caught one of his 11 receptions in the end zone for a touchdown. Naseri Danielson and Emily Vickers, this week's Roseville Hyundai Players of the Week.
SMUD is leading the nation in clean power, so each week SMUD shows us how to save energy.
Here is this week's Clean Power City Tip, powered by SMUD.
Hi, my name is Adio Bolu, and here's this week's Clean Power City Tip. Avoid products with excessive plastic packaging. You'll help lower carbon emissions from producing, transporting, and disposing of the plastic. SMUD is leading the nation in clean power. Learn more at cleanpowercity.org.
Coming up, our first SunPower Electric game. It's the battle for first place with Dixon and Pioneer.
Then at St. Mary's and Tracy on the volleyball court, you're watching 49ers Sac-Hi Sports.
Summer's in full swing. Remember, SMUD's peak hours are 5 to 8 p.m. weekdays when electricity use is the highest. shift some of your electricity usage to mid and off-peak hours when it costs less and renewable energy is plentiful. It's good for your bill, protects the environment, and helps our community too. Let's work together to save energy this summer. Learn more at smud.org/time-of-day.
Commitment, performance, pride. Roseville Hyundai is thrilled to be the feature sponsor of this week's Sac-Hi Players of the Week. We take great pride in recognizing each of your accomplishments as part of our continued effort to support the community. Come see the electrifying new lineup at Roseville Hyundai. From EVs and hybrids to our fuel cell vehicle, Hyundai Nexo. We've got you covered. Claim yours today.
We are back at the NBC Sports Studio here at Levi Stadium with our first SunPower Electric game. Both Dixon and Pioneer enter the week with 6-1 records and are 2-0 in Golden Empire League play.
Yeah, the two teams squaring off in Dixon on Friday night. The winner will move into first place in a tie with Casa Roble with just 2 games remaining in the regular season.
Electric game.
Robert and Aubrey, it's been an all-or-nothing kind of year in the Golden Empire League. You're either 2-0 or 0-2, but of course we feature 2 of those undefeated league teams in our SunPower Electric game, and these 2 teams played a thriller last year with Dixon taking it 13-7. Let's talk about a senior-on-senior night. QB Jet Harris has been effective and efficient, throwing for 18 touchdowns to just 2 interceptions. As for visiting Pioneer, it's of course Jack Carner. He of 1,200 yards and 18 touchdowns on the ground. Enough of my ramblings. Here are the Rams, and let's get this SunPower Electric game started. Dixon on the doorstep on their first drive of the game. Braden Baumback goes gliding into the end zone, and the Rams take a 7-0 lead. Later in the quarter, Dixon on the move again, but this time the Patriot defense makes a stand. Harris hit as he throws, and Nato Medina there to take it the other way. Doesn't quite get into the end zone, and that was big because the Rams were able to hold them to a field goal. Speaking of that Ram defense, they made plays all day. Elijah Hairston uses all of his 6'2" frame to get the sack. The score would still be 7-3 late in the third. It's Harris to Baumback. You can see why the team affectionately calls him Bowling Ball, and he'll roll into the end zone for his second score of the game, 14-3. But early in the fourth, the Pioneers blazing a comeback trail. Carson King downfield to Hayden Aledo, and he hauls it in for the first Patriot TD. The 2-point conversion makes it 14-11. But Dixon has an answer. Jet taken to the air, and it's Luis Torres going airborne to make the diving catch near the goal line. And who else but Baumback to finish the drive right up the middle. Might have been a 7-10 split in bowling, but it's straight up 6 right here, and it's 21-11 after the PAT. Pioneer not going away, 2:30 left in the game. King down the sideline to Julian Munoz, and he is down at the 2, and then Carner puts the finishing touches on the drive. Pioneer back within 3 with a little under 2 minutes to go. The Patriots get the stop they need on defense, so they have the ball again with a little over a minute to play. King looking over the middle, but Matthew Whitaker seals it with a pick, and Dixon moves to 3-0 in league with a 21-18 win.
I feel like we do well under pressure. We play as a team, we want to win as a team, and under pressure just helps us do better, I guess. It means everything, because if we lost this game, we couldn't have had a home game left. For all of us seniors, we could have been done here for forever. But with this win, we might be able to have another home game.
Reporting in Dixon for the SunPower Electric game, Brian Mueller, 49ers Sac-Hi Sports.
Tracy area sports coverage is presented by Tracy Toyota off Freeway 205 in Tracy, with you all the way. The Doghouse showing up to watch the Tracy girls take on St. Mary's in a battle for first place. St. Mary's up 1 game in the standings, but it's Tracy up here in the match. Ellie Hernandez and Ling Han connect for the point, but St. Mary's playing tough from the jump. Keely Hummel, Ella Rishwain, Eliana Williams, she's a freshman, but Tracy goes on to score 5 unanswered points. Han digs it, Hernandez sets to Chloe Lemons, and the powerful outside hitter hammers it home. Tracy up 7-4. The dig by Megan Kagiro. Then it's Ella Rishwain all the way over to Audrey Arnaudo. Ouch, that was a scorcher. But Tracy still with control later in the set. A fantastic dig by Kagiro. the libero. Then Megan has a fantastic third hit, but Chloe Lemons is all over it. Great plays just like that from both teams throughout the night. Tied at 14 in the first still. Kagiro, Rishwain, the Arnado shot is blocked by Hernandez, but if at first you don't succeed, try and try again. Arnado's second shot tools off the block. St. Mary's takes the first set. First point in set 2, Sophia Labassen with the dig. Then Hernandez teams up with Gianna Palmer, who finds open court on the far side to give Tracy the advantage. But the Rams up by 6 here. Tatum Luna sets it to Rishwain, the setter. She had a fireball there. She can do it all. Watch this assist by Rishwain later in the set. With her back to the net, it's a perfect setup for Arnado, and the dynamic duo is working on all cylinders. Then it's Ella and Audrey setting up Keely Hummel for set point. 25-20, the Rams take set 2. One set away from the sweep. Arnado in the back row with the dig. Then it's Kenzie Dobbins with a perfect set to Nicole Butt, and wham! Tracy fighting to keep the match alive. Elia Ravina stands her ground and finds nothing but court on the Rams' side of the net. But the Rams with match point. Rishwain, Dobbins, Keely, Hummel, and that's Keely's 11th kill on the night. It ends the match. St. Mary sweeps Tracy Arnado with a match high 14 kills, and the Rams now just one win away from clinching the Tri-City League.
Coming up, the big Sierra Foothill League showdown in volleyball with Oak Ridge taking on Whitney.
But first, take a look at our Sac Joaquin Section Top 10 Girls Volleyball Poll presented by Tracy Toyota.
Right now, my electrical bill is about $10 a month.
This is definitely one of the best investments we did in our house.
All over the country, people are taking control over their electric bills by going solar with SunPower. We offer the most efficient, durable panels on the market, so you can see a return on your investment every month.
I was paying $220 a month. Now I pay about $22 a month.
Right now, 49ers faithful get a $1,000 Visa reward card from SunPower. Go online today.
At Tracy Toyota, we're not just devoted to selling cars. We're committed to our community. We're donating $100,000 to help local organizations in Tracy. We call it Champions Thanking Heroes, like St. Paul's Lutheran Church, who serves the local community. We're even donating $50 for every vehicle sold. Shop our great lineup in person or at tracytoyota.com. Our certified used cars come with a 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty. Tracy Toyota, with you all the way.
There are just 2 weeks remaining in the Sierra Foothill Volleyball League. Oak Ridge remains the top dog coming into the week with a 6-0 league record. The league lead on the line Thursday with the 24-3 Trojans facing the 24-2 Whitney Wildcats.
Oak Ridge and Whitney played earlier this season. That match went the distance with the Trojans beating Whitney in 5 sets. This time it's Whitney with home court advantage. The first place game in the Sierra Foothill League played on Thursday night.
There's the section champs, the baseball team from Whitney last year, rooting on the volleyball team. But a tough task stands in front of them, Oak Ridge. The Trojans down 3 starters, but that did not seem to matter. Late in the first, Sophia Padilla sets it up to Elle Weaver, and the Dream Weaver has been great all season long. Still in the first set, Whitney hanging around. Charity Stevens hits this free ball, and it's not going to be returned. Set 1 goes to the Trojans. Cochran with the smash, Stevens with the tip, but somehow Oak Ridge keeps hope alive, and Emily Child knocks it over. Whitney with the return. Wait, what are we playing, Tropicana Field? Well, it falls for the 25th point, and the Trojans lead it early. Second set, Whitney's Paige Hall back sets it to Kaylin Cochran, and she's tough to stop and gets the kill here. Then Oak Ridge down a setter, and they're 2 outside hitters currently, so they had to shuffle some people around, and one of them was Emily Child, and she moves from the right side to the outside, and ooh, Child, things got a little bit easier. Ooh, Child, things got better. Emily was a beast on the second set, taking it over, kill after kill, and the Cal State Monterey Bay commit was on it. On the set point now, Oak Ridge makes some great saves. Callie Larson digs it out to Sophia Padilla, over to who? Ooh, Child. Emily finishes off the thingy in the deal. Third set now. Whitney leads early, a short set by Hall to Evelyn Hendricks for the smash down the middle of the court. Whitney still hanging on in the third set. Cochran with another kill for the Oregon State-bound senior. But it was not enough as Oak Ridge comes battling back. Mac Dowdy with the block and the lead. But Jenna Kraft of Whitney ties the game up at 23 with this smash, and the D can't stop it. but they got this girl, Elle Weaver, and the Trojans would have the last laugh and take this one in 3 straight sets. Avery Town on the assist here, and that would do it. Oak Ridge needs one more win to lock up his 3rd straight SFL title.
Every week we bring you the stories of athletes who inspire us.
Jalen Nichols' life was forever changed when he was in kindergarten, and to this day doctors are uncertain why he lost his hearing, but the senior on the Central Catholic football team has not let that stop him from pursuing his dreams.
It was a shot heard throughout the section. This was Jalen Nichols in the Sac-Joaquin Section Basketball Championship last season. An unbelievable shot for a one-of-a-kind player. Jalen plays basketball and football for the Central Catholic Raiders.
I always dreamed about playing for Central Catholic.
But football has always been Jalen's passion.
And also it was also a dream of mine to play varsity as a freshman, and I achieved that too. So, you know, my emotions were high, but at the same time I was proud of myself.
Central Catholic is the reigning Valley Oak League champions and NorCal champions. Now in his senior year, Jalen hopes to play in college and beyond. But growing up, Jalen had a difficult time coming to terms with the thing that made him different.
The main thing I really struggled with was just learning to accept the fact that I was deaf. I didn't want to be different. I couldn't understand. I was lost, confused.
Jalen's mom and dad began noticing his hearing loss when Jalen was in kindergarten.
We were watching a movie and I said his name and he stood up and turned his ear to my mouth so he could hear out of the ear that he could hear out of. So that's when I first noticed that there was something going wrong.
Totally deaf in my left ear. I can't hear anything on my left ear. And in my right ear, I can only hear about like 20% if I take my hearing aid off. But with my hearing aid on, I can hear probably about like 80 to 75% maybe.
In kindergarten, we don't really know what happened, but it was just a matter of a weekend where the other side went profound to being deaf. So he's completely deaf in one side and the other side is a profound loss.
To this day, doctors can't explain why Jalen lost his hearing, but since he still had some hearing in one ear, he's able to wear a hearing aid.
Honestly, I remember this very clearly. We were in San Francisco at the hearing aid department, and at first I couldn't hear like no outside noise. Now you have like a water bottle and you can hear those crumbling. I couldn't hear none of that. The first thing I said was, "Hey Mom, I can hear your boots on the floor." And we just started bursting out laughing with like excitement because that was something I never heard before. Yeah, it was very overwhelming.
Even with improved hearing, accepting his differences was tough for young Jalen, who wanted so desperately to be like his friends.
The biggest thing, he struggled with not wanting to be different and then finally realizing that it's okay to be different. And then, you know, how does he move on from there and learn who he is as a person?
I used to think that I was the only deaf person in this world until I think one day I saw somebody else deaf and it just kind of clicked. And I have a family member that's also totally deaf and she can't talk or speak. And so that just gave me how blessed I am to be able to speak and hear a little bit still.
Jalen's hearing aid enhances all of the noise around him, making it tough distinguishing between background noise and someone who is trying to get his attention. Coaches will use hand signals to communicate on the field.
Definitely hearing everybody is struggling because there's a lot of people out once yelling my name. I don't know which one's who. Same with the coaches too. I miss a lot of those. That's why we usually have like hand signals and stuff to make sure we're all on the same page.
Today, Jalen is confident and accepting. He doesn't let anyone tell him what he can't do, nor does he put a limit on himself. In fact, his advice to his younger self, embrace some of that silence.
I would tell young Jalen to block out all the outside noise and to be yourself and not care what anybody says. And don't let anybody tell you what you can or can't do, because you can do anything that you want to do and put your mind to it.
So Jalen hopes to play football at the next level, and you know, whatever team he goes to, there'll be a learning curve, having to learn new hand signals and stuff like that, but he is just thriving on the field and in the classroom.
Yeah, and he's learned it before, he can learn it again.
Exactly.
All right, this season's Service Champions Heating and Air Conditioning is shining a spotlight on athletes who give it their all in their sport and give back to their schools.
In this week's Service Champion Student Spotlight, we feature Kayla Ramirez from Will C. Wood. Kayla is the 2-year varsity captain of the Wildcats volleyball team, and she does great service work for her school. Kayla currently serves as the student body vice president. She is also a Link leader, which is a freshman-focused club, and is working on creating 2 more clubs at Wood High. Great job, Kayla, on your service to your school.
Coming up, the U.S. Army Game of the Week. Pioneer Valley League newcomers Sutter and 12 Bridges square off with the league lead on the line.
Then we have Bradshaw Christian and Liberty Ranch in girls volleyball. But first, here is this week's Spirit Corner featuring the cheer team from Bantam.
Trevor was born a champion. He knows how to make lemonade from lemons. He also knows that comfort is all year round. So sometimes, when you can't make lemonade, you make hot chocolate. Today, Trevor is proud to be a service champion. We're now offering a $58 2-for-1 special. You'll get a comprehensive AC tune-up and a free furnace safety inspection. High five service, champion attitude. Call 800-5-CHAMPS.
'49ers Sac-Hi Sports is brought to you by these fine companies who care about high school sports. By Stanford Medicine, #1 in Northern California for orthopedics, and by SunPower, a proud sponsor of the San Francisco 49ers.
We are back at the NBC Sports Studio here at Levi Stadium with the U.S. Army Game of the Week. The Pioneer Valley League welcomes 2 newcomers to the league this year, and both come into the week having not lost a league game this season. 12 Bridges out of Lincoln is 6-1 on the year, 2-0 in league play, with Nathan Crawford's 700 rushing yards and 12 touchdowns.
Sutter is undefeated on the year with a super strong defense, giving up less than 7 points a game. Linebacker Joseph Martinez leads the Huskies with 79 tackles. The battle for first place is our U.S. Army Game of the Week. The winner meeting up with Strawberry from KISS 107.9 after the game. But first, here's Mark Willis reporting.
Pink out in the crash pit, and the 2 newcomers to the Pioneer Valley League go head-to-head, 12B and Sutter. First quarter, and the Raging Rhinos draw first blood. Jacob Baxley comes swooping in and says, "I'll take that." It's a pick 6 for the junior safety. He could go all the way. 7-0, 12 Bridges. Sutter goes to the ground, and from a yard out, Luke Miller's in for the game-tying score at 7. Then Sutter's D catches a break, and a nice heads-up play by Jeffrey Azevedo, making the interception and shutting down the Rhinos' drive. And that was huge. It got the Huskies offense back on the field, and they let the big dog Robbie Falapula eat. Racking up 44 yards as the big man bounces this baby to the outside. Same drive now, Sutter inside the 10-yard line, and they go back to Miller, who scores from 6 yards out, 14-7 Huskies. Second quarter, Rhinos tie this thing up at 14 on Whit Cruz's 27-yard TD pass to Anthony Gallagher. He's in, and have no fear, the back judge was okay on the play. Still in the second quarter, Sutter goes to the other back, Robbie Falapulu, zigging and zagging for a 24-yard touchdown run, untouched, mind you, by the big man for Sutter. Third quarter now, Sutter up 7, and they add 7 more. They fake the inside handoff and counter with Miller. The senior running back powers his way into the end zone from 8 yards out, 28-14 Huskies. Still in the third, Sutter decides to mix it up kinda. Jagger back to the air, but still to that Miller guy. Luke's 4th TD on the night. One more time, Sutter scores at 6 touchdown on the night. Beck takes it himself, and he's in as the Huskies from Sutter went on the road and stay undefeated. My boy Strawberry caught up with the team after the game.
Well, the streak continues. These Huskies now are 9-0, still undefeated, boys! Yeah!
I want to start with Luke right here. Was it 4 touchdowns today? You had amazing runs. You also had a long bus ride. What goes through everybody's head when you're sitting on that bus for an hour on the way to enemy territory?
I mean, we always like to keep it positive energy, positive vibes, you know, listen to Bruno Mars, have a good time, and just jam out and get ready, locked in.
It's going to be a fun bus ride back, huh?
Yeah, it'll be super fun.
You guys deserve it. All right, Robbie right here, who also had a touchdown, ran all over the field. Nobody can touch this guy. New season, new competition. What's it like with a new section? People you haven't seen or played before?
I love it. We definitely prepared very well. This team, I'm new to this team, but we built a camaraderie and a bond that's unbreakable, and I think we're handling it pretty well.
All right, these 3 guys are seniors on the squad, 28 seniors in total. Dylan, you're one of them. Next season's going to look very different as half of you guys are going to graduate. What do these juniors and sophomores on the team have to do to step up to the legacy you guys are building?
You know, they just got to put the work in. I mean, we worked through the summer, through the season. Like, we all just put in work, and they just got to step up, you know, fill in the spots.
Is anybody on this team allowed to give Coach Ryan Reynolds any heat for having the same name as the actor? Does he allow that?
I mean, we don't really talk about it.
You're smart. These guys are smart, too. All right, my name is Strawberry from V101.1 and the new KISS 107.9. These are the undefeated Huskies. Sutter, take us out.
Everybody come your hands.
Brian Mueller at Liberty Ranch Monday night, and don't look now, but the Hawks can clinch their first ever Sierra Valley Conference League title with a win over Bradshaw Christian. First set, it's Sydney Nineheist with a diving dig. Mackenzie Tatterin bumps it to Emerson Patterson, and she peppers one in for the point. The Pride with the early lead, but back come the Hawks. Peyton Snow to Sarah Caroti, and it's lefty Maddie Trulock with the throwdown. The Ranch leads 17-15. Later in the set, same combo for the Hawks on this one, but this time Trulock shows off some accuracy, finds the corner to extend the Liberty Ranch lead, and they take the first set 25-18. In the second, the Hawks pick up right where they left off. Carly McCormick with the soft dig to Caroti, and Rachel Smith does the rest. 7-4 Liberty. But the Pride start to go on a run. Megan Brown takes the serve. Tatterin sets the table for Jocelyn Feaster. Check, please. That makes it 19-15 BC. Potential set point here, 24-19. Nineheist to Tatterin, and then Patterson pounds it for set point, and we're all tied up at 1. In the third, the Pride trailing, so they get a little tricky. It's Brown to Tatterin to Brooke Anderson. No, it's a fake. Patterson delivers the kill, but the Hawks would regroup. Snow on the dig. Caroti steers it along to Trulock, who again puts it where they ain't. That makes it 22-15, and they win the set 25-15. To the fourth, the Ranch again starting strong. McCormick goes down for the dig. Caroti sets up Snow, and she can absolutely swing it. Hawks up a couple. They have potential match point here at 24-18. Snow handles the serve. Caroti knows who to give it to. Smith seals the match and the first league title in school history. Congratulations to the Hawks as they win it 3-1.
Stanford Medicine brings us great advice for athletes each week.
Here's Dr. Joseph Donnelly with this week's tip.
Patella or kneecap dislocations can occur during a twisting injury to the knee or a direct blow to the inner aspect of the knee. Often the patella will quickly relocate into its normal position, but it may remain dislocated, requiring urgent treatment by a medical specialist. Typically, we see a significant amount of swelling in the knee after this injury, and the knee joint range of motion may be limited. Patellar dislocations are usually treated with rest, bracing, and PT for range of motion and strength, with a return to sports in 3 to 4 months.
Coming up, our mattress firm perfect match with Tracy taking on St. Mary's for the Tri-City League lead.
Then it's Wood looking to stay undefeated in league play, taking on Vanden. This is 49ers Sac-Hi Sports.
We head to Stockton for this week's mattress firm perfect match. The St. Mary's Rams are coming off their biggest win in recent history. St. Mary's beat historical powerhouse De La Salle last week. Nasiri Danielson was our player of the week from that game. Quarterback Sam Hunkin with a spectacular game as well, throwing for 251 passing yards with 3 touchdowns, rushing for 2 more.
Wow, outstanding. It was a big win, but the Rams are still in the middle of a tight league race. Tracy comes into the week 6-1 on the year, 2-0 in league play. Cameron Ross is the dual threat quarterback leading his team in passing and rushing yards. Tracy and St. Mary's battling for first place on Friday night.
Brian Mueller here in Stockton Friday night for a matchup of the top two teams in the Tri-City Athletic League. St. Mary's hosting Tracy. Rams come out ready in the first. Samson Hunkin gets it to Kenny Moore, and no one's catching Kenny. He goes down the sideline, and St. Mary's leads 7-0. But the Bulldogs bounce back on their next drive. Cameron Ross keeps it himself, does everything he can to stay upright, doesn't quite reach the end zone. But that's okay because Mason Myers does. We're all tied up at 7. Second quarter now. After another St. Mary's score, Tracy looking to tie it up again. There's Myers going right up the middle, 23 yards. Point after is no good, so it's 14-13. Then after a muffed kickoff return, Tracy starts their next drive at the St. Mary's 6. And after a couple plays, it's Myers again with his third score of the game. Good month to have that last name. And the Bulldogs lead 19-14. 2:30 until the half. The Rams rebuttal. Asante Carter has no trouble on the short TD run. St. Mary's back on top 21-19. But we are far from done in the second quarter. Ross can't find anyone open. Makes a couple Rams miss, and he breaks free. Throws in a spin move to boot on the 48-yard run. He would finish off the drive with a TD, and the Bulldogs up 27-21 with 48 seconds left. But that was enough time for one more St. Mary's drive. 5 seconds left in the half. It's Hunkin to Nas Danielson, and just like Dolly Parton, it's 9-5. The Rams lead 28-27 at the half, but oh, Dolly, was the third quarter a big one for St. Mary's. Carter may have the ball, but he's the one delivering the hit. A bulldozing 22-yard TD run, and it's 35-27. After another St. Mary's score, the Rams rumbling again in the red zone. Carter refusing to go down, reaches out, breaks the plane for his fourth touchdown of the game, had 5 in all, 49-27. We're still in the third. Devin Rasmussen in at QB now, and he likes throwing to Danielson as well. The Rams put up 28 in the third quarter to win our Mattress Firm perfect match, 63-33 the final.
Nick Pecoraro here. 22 seniors celebrated at Will C. Wood High School Thursday before a big Monticello Empire League game with Vanden. Here we go. Pop quiz. How do you put the previous week's loss in the rearview mirror? You take the opening kickoff back for a touchdown. That's how. Kasai Cox goes 75 yards and puts Vanden up 7-0 right off the bat. But the Wildcats have an answer on their opening drive. QB Mason Sayer looking for his running back, Manny Delatorre. That's good from 6 yards out, and we're all knotted up at 7. Vanden marches right back the other way, though, as Raheem Holt caps the drive with a short score, 14-7 Vikes. The two teams trade turnovers before Woods' Diego Madriz jumps this route, and he's gone. 40-yard pick six, and we've got ourselves a ball game, folks. 14-all at the end of one. Second quarter, Vanden QB Trey Dimes takes it himself from inside the 10, fumbles just short of the goal line, but lineman number 55 Mason Wedderts recovers in the end zone. 21-14 Vanden at the break.
I'm about to score right now, I promise that, trust.
Then my guy here on the sideline speaking a touchdown into existence for Wood. Sayer to Delatorre, what?
I did tell you, they don't believe it till they see it though. Jack it or clap it, come on.
I don't know what he just said, but it sounded good. We're all tied up at 21. That is until Elijah Fisherman gives Vanden the lead back on the next drive, 28-21 Vikes. Now Vanden starts to pull away here. This is Chris Clark's third interception of the night. He saved the best one for last with a 40-yard pick six. And Vanden is already up big, but we've got to show you this play. Dimes to the air. A one-handed catch by Leon Robinson with a defender all over him. A 56-yard score. Vanden bounces back nicely with a 49-21 win.
U.S. Army brings us the U.S. Army Top Recruit each week, highlighting players getting lots of attention by top colleges.
This week's U.S. Army top recruit is Philip Bell from Christian Brothers. The Falcons' 4-star receiver has 18 Division I offers, and Philip is only a sophomore. Want to be a top recruit? Find your path at GoArmy.com. Coming up, the game we've all been waiting for. Undefeated Del Oro takes on mighty Folsom in our second SunPower Electric game.
Then it's Rio Americano and Vista Del Lago in volleyball. 49ers Sac-Hi Sports will be right back.
Every day, the sun comes up. And right on cue, the work begins. We start every morning, knowing full well we are in it for the long haul. Our work is a labor of love. No task too small, no moment uncherished. And although we're not often thanked, we rest knowing that our work is making a brighter future. This is more than milk.
Tim never leaves his wife's side. But since junk sleep gave him a crick in his neck,
Who's there?
he can't turn his head to see her. Now he's convinced she's left him.
Michelle?
Only our Love Your Mattress guarantee gets you the lowest price and 120 nights to sleep on it.
You came back.
Unjunk your sleep at Mattress Firm.
Just 2 Sierra Foothill League teams remain undefeated in league play heading into the week, and the 2 meeting with just 3 league games remaining.
Folsom and Del Oro come into the week 2-0 in league play. The Bulldogs are 6-1 on the year, while the Golden Eagles are undefeated at 7-0. The Sierra Foothill League title could come down to this.
Electric game.
Nick Pecoraro here in Folsom for perhaps one of the most anticipated games of the whole season, certainly in the Sierra Foothill League. It's Folsom taking on Del Oro. 21 section and 5 state championships between these 2 programs. The Bulldogs look to hang another banner behind a slew of Division I caliber talent, including Notre Dame-bound receiver Rico Flores Jr. and San Jose State-bound DB Greco Carrillo. Del Oro, meanwhile, at 7-0, is off to its best start since 2018. A strong defensive and special teams unit features Thomas Graham II, Sam Murray, and Akio Martinson. Also, keep an eye on a tremendous matchup of junior quarterbacks Austin Mack and Caden Pinnick. Well, there's still 2 weeks left of the regular season, but many view this matchup as the de facto SFL championship game. Hey, let's get to it. It's Folsom and Del Oro in our SunPower Electric game. The Bulldogs have not moved from the top spot in our Sac-Hi football rankings this season. We're about to show you why. First quarter, Folsom driving, Austin Mack rolls right, finds Julio Garcia for an easy score, 7-0 Dogs after 1. But Del Oro's not 7-0 for no reason. Kainoa Asia and Nixon Atwell team up to sack Mack, but Mack attacks back. He hits Colin Gallagher from 14 yards out, 14-0 Dogs. We mentioned Caden Pinnick in pregame. Nothing doing downfield, so he improvises. Goes all playground right here with a slick little shovel pass to Cade Lawley. Big first down, but Del Oro's drive stalled. In the next Folsom possession, Mack airs it out for Ontario Smith Jr. He had a huge night, 9 catches for 220 receiving yards. This one's a 60-yard house call, 21-0 Folsom. Pinnick on the ensuing drive trying to make something happen for the Golden Eagles. Nobody's open. He puts it on the ground. He's zigging while Folsom defenders are zagging. He picks up a big chunk of yards here to set up a 17-yard touchdown strike to Aaron Unfried. That gets D.O. on the board, 21-7 before the half. Third quarter, Bulldogs go hurry up out of the locker room. That results in another Mack touchdown pass, this time to Donovan Maxey Parler, 27-7 Dogs. And how about some defense? Arion Smith comes up with his first interception of the season, and on the other end, Mack is having an Oprah game. You get a touchdown! You get a touchdown! You get a touchdown! 5 TDs to 5 different players. This one goes to Rico Flores with 410 passing yards. Mr. Mack was hyping up his teammates after the game.
My big dog Ontario, he really had himself a night, especially our defense. Our defense only letting up 7 points. I mean, I don't know if I can ask for much more.
Reporting from our SunPower Electric game, Nick Pecoraro, 49ers Sac-Hi Sports.
Senior night at Vista Del Lago, and these 4 seniors, along with assistant coach Fanshear, were honored before the game. I'm Mark Willis, and here we go. Vista came out to play in the first set. Peyton Hubbard sets up Alex Anderson on the outside for the kill. Then a crazy rally here as Lulu Voss with a great save for Rio. Back over to Vista, and Hubbard to Kaya Fanshear for the sweet kill. But somehow Rio is able to recover and claim the first set. Ava Kaufman gets the ace here, and the Raiders take set 1, 25-21. On to the second set. Here we go. Rio Americano setter Gray Stone. Well, she's not set up anything but scoring with the fake set kill. She's the straw that stirs the Rio drink. Then this as Hubbard sets up Fanshear with another kill. Kyle will be playing beach volleyball for Cal State Bakersfield next year. Another long rally ends with a Rio score as they take the second set. Livia Bocci bumps it over to Voss, who does the rest. And the third set is a different story, and you can tell that Vista just wanted it more. Lila Hoyt slams it through the wickets, and the Eagles lead. Then on the set point for Vista, it gets it done. Hannah De Silva with a monster block for her team, and the Eagles are flying high with a 25-19 win. On to the fourth set. Check out the shot by Hannah De Silva. She was rolling as a latch-ditch effort to keep the ball in the air. Uses the foot, and it worked. Rio can't control the ball, and Vista gets the point. Wow. And that got Rio fired up. Here's the straw, other known as Stone. Back set to Cameron Berry for the kill. Then on to set match point for Rio. The Straw's 36 assists goes to Lulu Voss for the kill and the game winner as Rio stays undefeated in league and is the Capital Valley League champion.
Each week we present the Scholar Athlete Award.
This week's Scholar Athlete Award goes to Gianna Bava from Escalon. The Cougars' outside hitter sports an incredible 4.6 GPA. Coming up, it's Bradshaw Christian and Liberty Ranch.
Then Antelope and Wood Creek. This is 49ers Sac-Hi Sports.
Liberty Ranch is having a historic season so far. The Hawks are undefeated at 7-0 and well on their way to securing their first league title since 2017. We've talked before about Arthur Drager's contribution to the offense, leading the league with nearly 1,200 rushing yards and 20 touchdowns this season. But Arthur also leads his team in tackles with 77 on the year and 13 tackles for loss.
He is having an historic season.
A historic season.
Yes, he is. Liberty Ranch taking on Bradshaw Christian this week. The Pride sitting in second place with a 5-1 record on the year and is 1-1 in Sierra Valley League play. Bradshaw Christian is loaded with sophomores. Sophomore running back Mateo Mojica is the Pride's workhorse and will bear the brunt of the carries. The game played in Galt Friday night.
7-0 Liberty Ranch at home against the 5-1 Bradshaw Christian Pride. Let's get you straight to the action from the Hawks' home turf. Middle of the first, Arthur Drager takes a handoff and scores a long touchdown run. That's not the last time you're going to see Arthur on your screen. That's already his second touchdown of the game, and it gives the Hawks a 14-0 lead. Just a few minutes later, quarterback Kaimani Fanika keeps the Liberty train rolling with this 40-yard run. He's down at the Bradshaw Christian 40 after some solid running in open field. Arthur Drager finishes off the drive with a short touchdown run, and it is 21-0 Liberty Ranch. Ethan Rickert tries to build some momentum for the Pride using his legs to pick up a 25-yard gain. The drive ends in Bradshaw Christian's first touchdown of the night, 28-7 Liberty Ranch. Drager piles up the yards after contact with the play of the night. Weaving in and out of the defense, he spins off one defender and then another. Drager putting the Hawks into the red zone with this incredible run, and the drive ends in a Ranch score, so it's 35-7 Hawks. Bradshaw was able to put some points on the board. Their highlight of the night coming on this juggling catch from Ethan Rickert to Nathan Zeppieri. Nice catch there from Zeppieri, but it's too little too late. Liberty Ranch caps off its scoring in the fourth. 20 yards out, Kaimani Fanika gets the snap and finds room on the outside to run. Fanika's second rushing touchdown of the night, and the Hawks roll to a 42-14 win as Liberty Ranch remains undefeated on the year.
We switch it up and head to Roseville, where the Polo players are enjoying these warmer than normal temperatures in the area. And Wood Creek draws first blood. Sophia Paez to Allison Boudreau, and the left winger scores it for the Timberwolves. Then Paez with a cross pull pass to Angelina Nadra, and she gathers and scores. 3-0 Wood Creek at the half. Wood Creek in the white caps, Casey Gardia on a breakaway, and she just floats this one into the goal. T-Wolves lead it 3-1. Now Wood Creek on the break. Haley Hensley to Paige Eves, over to Boudreau. Nice catch and shoot, all within one motion, and it's now a 6-1 ball game. Rio not giving up, and it shows. Jada Ashton steals the ball from the keeper, finds Brianna Payne attacking the net, and she's able to slip it past everyone. It's 6-2 game now. Every time Rio would score, Wood Creek answered right back. Paez hits the back of the net on this shot, but Wood Creek's Hensley at the point now over Nadra, and she finds Christina Sampson, who scores it, and that would do it. The Timberwolves defeat a tough Rio Americano team 8-2.
Thursday night football with Wood Creek just one game back of 3-0 Antelope, so this one is for first place in the Capital Valley League. Antelope facing a 7-0 deficit after one. Josiah Bateman finds Trayvon Watkins, and Trey makes his way in. A missed point after makes it a 7-6 game. But Wood Creek jumps right back ahead in the closing minutes of the half. Connor Rojas uses the hole created by lineman Ryan Brown and takes it 20 yards in for the score. But still lots of football left in the first half. Bateman and his Titans at midfield. Josiah heaves it nearly 50 yards to a wide open Demarion Williams, a 2-point conversion, and we are tied at 14. But not for long. This is the ensuing kickoff. Tanner Smith deep to receive, and Smith tiptoes up the far sideline before taking off. He has one Titan hot on his tail, but Tanner completes the 85-yard house call. So Wood Creek has the 7-point lead heading into the second half. The veer just doesn't work without backs like Hakeem Anderson, just an absolute workhorse. This is in the midst of a 10.5-minute card possession. The drive ending in a touchdown, so Creek now with the 2-score advantage, 9 minutes to go in the game. Karan Borders, the Sac State-bound running back, is set up in the shotgun, and he just bullies his way to a huge gain. 3 plays later, Sage Vignoli with a backwards pass to Borders. Borders believes he can fly, jumps over the entire line, and Wood Creek's lead is back to 7. On the next Antelope drive, Bateman, he has an arm, folks. Cassidy Cole is the intended receiver. Cole hauls it in, and at the end of the drive, we've seen this play before. Borders making his way through the trenches. Curran is in. The game is tied. Wood Creek gets one final drive. Rojas dropping back and firing up the middle to Andrew Gordon. What a catch by Gordon, and a few plays later, Wood Creek sets up for what could be the game-winning field goal, but this shot is blocked and sails wide left. Tied after regulation, we are headed into overtime. College football rules puts the ball at the 25-yard line. Antelope with the rock first, Bateman with a pass to Cassidy Cole, and this is the first lead of the night for Antelope. Wood Creek needs to score, facing 4th down, but Antelope's defense goes into lockdown. Makai Dubose-Kane knocks the quarterback out of bounds, and Antelope holds on to the Capital Valley League lead, 35-28, the final in overtime.
Remember, you can buy all of the game footage we shoot throughout the week. Go to 49ers Sac-Hi-Sports.com to order entire game videos.
Follow us on social media for more prep sports content. 49ers.Sac-Hi is our handle on Instagram and Twitter, and subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Coming up, we'll choose the play of the week. This could be the play of the week, maybe not.
But first, take a look at our Sac Joaquin Section Top 10 football poll presented by Tracy Toyota.
We are back to announce tonight's play of the week.
It's the man of mystery.
Yeah?
Mark Willis
That's
here
a new one.
to announce a few contenders and then the winner of the play of the week.
Let's start with Vanden's Leon Robinson catching the one-handed touchdown pass from Trey Dimes. Beautiful. And next, it's Luis Torres of Dixon, the diving catch, but he's just short. But we like this one the best. It's Vista Del Lago's Hannah De Silva. Get loose, foot loose, using her feet to score the point. Hannah, oh, heads up, or should I say nice foots up. Play of the week winner.
That's the play of the week, and that is 49ers Sac-Hi Sports for this week. Thank you for watching. I'm Aubrey Tolliver.
And I'm Robert Braunstein. Join us next week when we'll share the story of the cross-country runner from Forest Hill and the effect the mosquito fire has had on her life. We'll see you then.